Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel To The Point. In this video we will learn what are scalars and vectors. पहले देखते हैं what is scalar. इस पिक्चर में आप देख सकते हैं लेंथ ऑफ कार इज 4.5 मीटर. इसमें जो हमारे पास लेंथ है वो फिजिकल क्वांटिटी है 4.5 मीटर. ये मैग्नीट्यूड है. Mass of gold is 1 kg, where mass is physical quantity and kg is magnitude. Similarly, time is 12.76 second. Here time is physical quantity and second is the magnitude. Temperature is 36.8 degrees centigrade. Here temperature is the physical quantity and centigrade is its magnitude. A scalar is a physical quantity that has only magnitude. Scalar ऐसी physical quantity है जिसका just magnitude होता है. For example, mass, length, time, temperature, volume and density. What is vector? In this picture, position of California from North Carolina is 3600 km in west, where position is the physical quantity, west is direction and 3600 km is the magnitude. Displacement from USA to China is 1,60,000 km in east. Physical quantity है displacement, east direction है 1,60,000 km is magnitude. Vector is a physical quantity that has both magnitude and direction. For example, position, displacement, velocity, acceleration, momentum and force. Representation of a vector. Symbolically, it is represented as AB, arrow या head. They are also represented by a single capital letter with an arrow above it, just like this. Okay. Some vector quantities are represented by their respective symbols with an arrow above it, just like position is represented by R, velocity by V and force by F. Types of vectors on the basis of their orientation. The number one is parallel vectors. Two vectors are said to be parallel vectors if they have same direction. For example, the vector A and the vector B have same direction. That's why they are called parallel vectors. Similarly, vector P and Q are in the same direction. That's why they are called parallel vectors. Next, equal vectors. Two parallel vectors are said to be equal vectors if they have same magnitude. For example, A and B are two parallel vectors in the same direction, also have same magnitude. That's why they are called equal vectors. Similarly, the vector P and Q are in the same direction with equal magnitude. That's why they are called equal vectors. Anti-parallel vectors. Two vectors are said to be anti-parallel vectors if they are in opposite directions. For example, the vector A and B are in opposite direction. That's why they are called anti-parallel vectors. Similarly, the vector P and Q are also in the opposite directions. That's why they are called anti-parallel vectors. Negative vectors. Two anti-parallel vectors are said to be negative vectors if they have same magnitude. Vector A and vector B have same magnitude but are not in the same direction. They are in anti-parallel vectors. That's why they are called negative vectors. The vector P and Q are two anti-parallel vectors but have the same magnitude. That's why they are called negative vectors. Collinear vectors. Two vectors are said to be collinear vectors if they act along the same line. For example, the vector A and the vector B are along the same line but are in opposite direction. They are called collinear vectors because they are in the same line. The vector P and Q are also in the same line. That's why they are called collinear vectors. Their direction does not matter. Co-initial vectors. Two or more vectors are said to be co-initial vectors if they have common initial point. For example, the vector A, B, C and D have their initial point here where they intersect each other at the middle point. This point is called co-initial vector, co-initial point. Co-terminus vectors. Two or more vectors are said to be co-terminus vectors if they have common terminal point. For example, the vector A, B, C, D have a terminal at this point. This common point is the terminal point. That's why they are called co-terminal vectors. Coplanar vectors. Three or more vectors are said to be coplanar vectors if they lie in the same plane. For example, the vector A, B, C, D are in the same plane. This one plane has four vectors A, B, C, D. That's why these four vectors are called coplanar vectors. Non-coplanar vectors. Three or more vectors are said to be non-coplanar vectors if they are distributed in space. For example, this is a three-dimensional box. The vector A is in one plane and vector C is another plane. Vector B is also not in the same plane. It is also in different plane. That's why they are non-coplanar vectors. Types of vectors on the basis of effects. We'll do this topic in the next video. Best of luck.